Live from the IUTV studio in the Murphy Center at Iona University, this is Good Morning Gaels. With Rebecca Bittner, I'm Chase Caridi.
Everyone sit back, relax, and we'll let you know what's happening this upcoming week for Gael Nation.
This past Friday, Greek Life hosted their yearly lip sync competition, which included all chapters from Iona University. To battle for the trophy, sororities and fraternities put on 7 to 10 minute dances that combined lip syncing, originality, and choreography. The event became a vibrant display of skill and school spirit as each group brought their unique style to the stage. As the performances grew increasingly competitive over the evening, the audience was completely invested. In the end, Gamma Lambda Rho took home the win, earning the trophy with a one-of-a-kind performance. Now, Becca, what's the weather looking like this upcoming week?
Well, next week, temperatures are going to be in the 60s with rain on Wednesday and Thursday. However, Tuesday is going to have a high of 77 and be sunny, so a great day to go outside, maybe tan or play some baseball. Unfortunately, that is not the case yet. As of right now, it is 55 and cloudy, staying around there in the surrounding neighborhoods. Back to you, Chase.
Thanks, Becca. This week, our field reporter Alex Cusion was back on North Ave to see what students are doing over this summer break. Take it away, Alex.
Hi, this is Alex from Alex on the Ave with IUTV. Let's go interview some Iona students. Come on. Would you rather have no Wi-Fi or no AC all summer?
No Wi-Fi.
Why?
Because it's too hot in the summer and I'd rather have AC.
Money didn't matter. Where would you spend your entire summer?
Ooh. Probably like Italy or Greece.
Would you rather have a beach day or a pool day?
Pool day.
Why?
I like the water.
Fair enough. What is your favorite summer memory?
Hanging out with my family by the pool and having barbecues.
What song reminds you of summer?
I Know What You Did Last Summer by Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes.
What is one goal you have for this summer?
One goal I have for this summer is to, reconvene and have a relaxing summer and be able to start fresh in the fall.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Strawberry.
Why?
It's just the best.
Okay, you're stuck on a remote island for 3 weeks. What are 3 things that you bring?
Can I say like my phone? Is that like?
Okay, yeah, but there may not be service.
A first aid kit, canned food, and perfume.
Period. That was an amazing year of interviewing Iona students. I'll miss it. I'm Alex Cusion with IUTV. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alex. We always love to hear how students are going to be spending their summer break.
Last weekend, the Iona players had their first ever field day. The event was split up between 2 days as members of the club competed in 3 teams playing a fun game of kickball on Mazzella Field. On the second day, the players took their competition to the North Hall's 6th floor lounge, playing board and video games. Everyone had so much fun and felt it was a great way to end another successful year. Senior Sunset will bring the class of 2026 together for an unforgettable evening tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. at the LaPenta School of Business atrium. As they watch the sunset with friends, students will relish music, wonderful company, and a tranquil setting. Seniors will celebrate the conclusion of their time in college and look forward to what lays ahead.
On May 8th, Somers Center Hall will host the nurse pinning ceremony, which will recognize nursing graduates as they accomplish the significant milestone. The event will honor their devotion, diligence, and resolve to pursue a career in healthcare. As students are ready to start their nursing professions, it will be a significant celebration. This week, the Iona Student Government Association had their changing of the guard, where the old e-board was handing over the keys to the new e-board. Let's hear from Amari Dunnells with the story.
Hi, I'm Amari Dunnells from IUTV. We are here today at the Burke Lounge for the Student Government Association's change of guard. Let's check it out. This is an obvious, massive transition for student governing and everything like that. And obviously, with Dom now as the next president for SGA, what do you want to see Iona do, and obviously an SGA board?
I think next year I would like to see SGA just expand on all the things we've laid the foundation for this year, just more presence with our clubs and organizations, taking charge of club recognition and accountability, and just finding new and innovative ways for SGA to be known on campus and for the new executive board to make their faces known and their names known so that the student body can trust them as their leaders and always look to SGA as a resource.
Okay, and then obviously for you, it's your year, you're graduating, made an impactful statement, by the way. And what's next for you, essentially, and how do you feel?
How do I feel? I feel very accomplished, very happy to have spent my 4 years at Iona and spend it with SGA as well. For me, it's to take a gap year, take some time to breathe. I would like to go to law school, so seeing where that takes its place in the next couple of years.
So these are massive, big shoes to fill, obviously, as the next SGA president. And, you know, how do you feel in this moment?
Yeah, these are very big shoes to fill, definitely. Krishna definitely did a great job working with her as VP of Finance. Her just running the executive board has been amazing, and the whole e-board, it's a very big shoes to fill, definitely. But I'm very confident with the incoming e-board. I've worked with a lot of them personally. I believe we're going to go above and beyond. I think going into next year, it's going to be a great year.
In your speech, you talked about, you know, the goals that you have for SGA, and would you like to, you know, obviously elaborate for the rest of the Iona community what those goals are?
Well, I'd say my number one goal is really just to bring the campus together. You see a lot of the times, a lot of groups and umbrella organizations, they work in their own spaces, they have their own communities, and the campus is sort of divided. But my number one goal is going to be to, as an SGA, as an executive board, talk to those individuals, reach out, bring them together with joint events, joint programming, just make this campus a community. That really is my ultimate goal.
It was great to see the changing of the guard and what the executive board for next year has for us at Iona. From IUTV, I'm Amari Dunnells. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Amari. We cannot wait to see what the new SGA e-board will do.
Do you think you have what it takes to join Iona's Gold Line? On May 9th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., tryouts for the 2026-2027 season will take place in the Hegarty Room. This is your opportunity to demonstrate your abilities, bring your enthusiasm, and showcase your skills. Don't forget, come prepared, be yourself, and leave everything on the floor. Last Friday, the Iona Singers showed off their incredible talent with their Showstoppers concert, performed on April 24th at the Somer Center in Bronxville. The concert was a huge hit, with so many people showing up to support our singers. We feel so honored and lucky to have such an amazing group of performers, and we cannot wait to see what this group does next.
The 21st Annual Gale Awards, an invitation-only banquet honoring excellence in leadership and accomplishment, took place at Lake Isle on April 27th. Visitors, faculty, and students came together to honor exceptional work on campus. Now let's congratulate a few winners. Rowan Torres for Campus Minister of the Year, Molly Walsh as Commuter Assistant of the Year, Kristen Eastlake as Fraternity Man of the Year, and Jules Ventimiglia as Sorority Woman of the Year, and Sabrina Custodio with the St. Columbo Award, the Sullivan Commencement Award, and Excellence in Mission Award. Overall, the event showcased the recipients' year-long achievements, leadership, and commitment. And on April 29th, in the Courtyard Residential Halls, the Self-Care Club organized Scoops of Self-Care, which brought students together for delightful relaxation. Attendees focused on wellness and serenity while enjoying ice cream. This event urged students to seek balance and make time for themselves during a stressful end of the semester.
Also on Wednesday, finalists presented their ideas to judges for a chance to win up to $20,000 at the 9th Annual IIC Final Pitch event, which was held in the Hines co-working space. Through imaginative and captivating pitches, students demonstrated innovative solutions to real-world issues. The occasion showcased students' inventors' skills, entrepreneurship, and creativity. With a jam-packed calendar of events, Spring Weekend brought enthusiasm to campus. Pop the Balloon Part 3, a high-energy participatory event featuring music, live reactions, was held at the Hines East on Friday by the Black Student Union. The Spring Fashion Show, which included student models and tri-state area brands, took place on Saturday after Gab a Bite in the City on Murphy Green. The Speech and Hearing Club's Strides for Speech fundraiser, which featured a raffle, a miniature carnival, and hearing examinations, concluded the weekend on Sunday. The event, which brought the community together and raised money for a client's family, was sponsored by a number of school organizations.
Last night, the third annual Student Film Festival was held, where students got the opportunity to showcase their short films for a chance to win an award. IUTV reporter Abby Diaz was there with the story. Take it away, Abby.
I'm Abby Diaz for IUTV, and today we're in Romita Auditorium for the film festival, where student filmmakers are able to showcase their works on the big screen. Let's check it out. So tell me a little bit about your film and what inspired it.
Well, the inspiration goes behind a bunch of personal stuff to me. It's near and dear to my heart. So we came up with the concept. It was actually Elizabeth Riccio, I believe. She's friends with someone in the arts club. And she said, why don't you make, as the fictional content guy, I've been dubbed, so, why don't you make an animated short? And I said, I like that idea. So I wrote something short and sweet, because obviously I don't think we have the budget or the time to make a feature, an animated feature. So I decided to write up this little script. I shared it with a bunch of people. Everyone liked it, and they said we should go for it. And then we did a lot of hours talking about how we wanted it to look, how we wanted it to progress, and the colors, and obviously it comes down to the final product that you just saw.
What kind of team did you have behind you for this project?
So the team was, apart from me, I had two animators, Emma and Jose. They were fantastic. They were so easy to work with. They were so creative in terms of we would just sit and bounce ideas off one another, and helpful. They could not have been more helpful. Every time I needed them for something or I wanted to change anything, they were right on it. There wasn't any tracking people down. They were so easy to work with. They were a pleasure. Jacob, who did the voice of the grandfather, and Ike, a joy to work with. He was so happy to be there, and he was so creative in the way where he tried to pitch his voice up and down for someone who had never done voice acting work, so he was fantastic. And then a good friend of mine from home, Liam, did the sound. He actually is a sound guy. Like, that's his thing. And so I said, I know a sound guy, so I got in touch with him. I shared him all of the art and a list of the basic things we'll need. He went out and got it, and I did the editing and pieced it all together, but he got all the sound we needed for it. So it was great, and that was the team.
So tell me a little bit about your film.
Well, I would say it's about someone trying to get over. It's about two people confronting something really bad that originated from the same person, but with one kind of has rose tinted glasses about the person in general. So, and the other one doesn't, as you can see in the movie, but not enough time to explain here. It's a little complicated. But I kind of want to see what would happen if I can have if I can make a static character interesting, because a lot of what happens in movies is make the characters dynamic or make them have an arc. I want to see if I can make a movie that was interesting if I didn't have a character learn anything. Like, Caie was the main story pusher and was dynamic and actively changed and learned. But I wanted Brian the therapist to. I didn't want him to really learn anything. I didn't want him to really change. I wanted him to stay flat and see how he would affect the world around him, as opposed to two dynamic characters.
What was challenging about achieving that goal?
Definitely the dialogue and general script writing, because since it's such a serious topic too, it's very hard to. It seems very easy to accidentally mess it up, at the very end, or to accidentally make something not very tasteful. So even today, I was super scared about that. Okay, I'm trying to make this point here, have to be taken seriously, and then I'm just terrified that I kind of messed up, and in case I messed up in the last second, and people kind of nervously laugh about it instead of being oh, that was pretty interesting.
It was so great to see students getting rewarded for their hard work throughout the year. For IUTV, I'm Abby Diaz. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Abby. We always love to see students putting in the work to make such great products.
In New Rochelle, Governor Kathy Hochul has announced the completion of a $31.8 million project replacing the aging North Avenue Bridge over I-95. The new structure improves safety and traffic flow for roughly 20,000 daily drivers, with increased vertical clearance to reduce collisions involving overheight vehicles. The bridge is now fully open in both directions for the first time since construction began in January 2023. The New Rochelle Department of Parks and Recreation is inviting residents to the 13th annual Kite Day at Davenport Park on May 2nd from noon to 2 p.m. The free event encourages families to fly or even build their own kites with a limited supply available on site. A rain date is scheduled for May 3rd, and attendees can RSVP through the city's website.
New Rochelle police are addressing questions after officers shot a raccoon multiple times in a recent incident in the Davenport neighborhood. Officials say the animal was determined to be sick and a public hazard, and that proper protocol was followed using a .22 rifle. The department emphasized that their response aligned with established procedures for handling dangerous wildlife. Now moving on to some world news. As we mentioned last week, the London Marathon was this past weekend, and one of its participants went viral online for wearing a fridge on his back while running. 30-year-old Jordan Adams ran the marathon with a 25-kilogram fridge on his back to raise awareness for dementia and support the Alzheimer's Society of Ireland and his family's FTD Brothers Foundation. He and his brother are planning on running 33 marathons in 33 days in every county of Ireland for families who have been devastated by dementia, including their own. A truly inspiring story.
Farmers in the UK are trying to breed ugly cows to stop influencers from taking photos with them, saying, quote, "My cows don't get any peace." Alex Birch told the BBC that he intends to make his Highland cattle less photogenic, a process that he said would take about 6 years. Country music's biggest festival, Stagecoach, took quite a turn this weekend. The festival was briefly postponed while sets by Journey and Riley Green were canceled due to a strong wind advisory that caused festival goers to evacuate. But that didn't mean they weren't able to see some of the country's biggest stars. In a local bar, Riley Green and Dan and Shay were joined by actress Sydney Sweeney to sing karaoke during this delay. This included a rendition of Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places, performed by the actress Anne Green.
I think the Good Morning Gaels staff's love for Punch the Monkey has been well documented, so you can imagine our excitement when we found a 6-week-old Patas monkey in Mexico who is clinging to his emotional support stuffed dog. Yuji, who has been rejected by his mother, has captured the attention of the Mexican public and drawn comparisons to Punch, who shared a similar story. But unlike Punch, Yuji is set to interact with other monkeys, but has been taken care of thanks to veterinarians and biologists at Guadalajara Zoo's Comprehensive Center for Animal Medicine and Welfare, where they hope to move him into a monkey habitat when he's 6 months old. Now for some pop culture. This past weekend was pretty big for the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson, as his biopic moonwalked into cinemas April 24th. The film has already grossed $217 million worldwide, gaining the record for the biggest biopic opening of all time.
Nickelodeon was set to release a new animated film, which is a sequel to one of their most popular series from the early 2000s. Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender was supposed to release October 9th, but unfortunately on April 12th, somebody hacked into Nickelodeon servers and leaked the entire film online to various sites such as Twitter and Reddit. With the film going viral, so many fans got their hands on the copy of the film, and while it was received positive feedback, Nickelodeon was not happy. As of last week on April 24th, the 26-year-old man who leaked Team Avatar's new movie has been arrested by police in Singapore, and rumors speculate that he could be going to jail for 7 years. The popular YouTube horror series, The Backrooms, is being brought to the big screens May 29th. Kane Pixels, who started his famous series back in 2022, at just 16 years old, now has the record for the youngest person to ever direct an American film. The story follows a man who found this weird other world that just can't get access to, but must clip out of reality to find. This man and a small group of others hope to find what secrets this liminal space holds.
Releasing May 27th, Amazon Prime is set to release a series following the multiversal fan favorite superhero Spider Noir. Taking place in the 1930s and being filmed entirely in black and white, the series will follow Nicolas Cage, reprising his role of Ben Reilly from the popular Spider-Verse films. Ben Reilly is a seasoned private investigator who, in his universe, is New York's only superhero. The show is built to be a different interpretation of the Spider-Man story and characters, so if you're interested in something different involving your favorite webhead, stay tuned for Spider Noir. Staying on the subject of superheroes, James Gunn's DCU continues this summer with the release of Supergirl starring Millie Alcock. Releasing on June 26th, the film follows Kara, the cousin of Superman and last daughter of Krypton, who, after an unexpected threat strikes too close to home, has no choice but to team up with a band of unlikely heroes for an interstellar journey of vengeance and justice.
The trailer for the other DCU project this year, Clayface, has recently been released to outstanding praise. Clayface, a film based on the villain from the Batman comics, will be a body horror/thriller film starring Tom Harris as the broken Matt Higgins, a movie actor who faces a horrible accident leaving him disfigured. As a last resort, he would turn to a mysterious substance. The film comes out October 23rd. The famous video game series Resident Evil is getting another movie adaptation. Director Zach Cregger, known for his work in the movie Weapons, is a huge fan of the franchise, and he hopes to show fans a different take on the Resident Evil universe. We follow Brian, played by Austin Abrams, as he makes his way through Raccoon City where a mysterious virus has broken out, and all of a sudden the dead are walking. The movie is slated to come out September 18th. With the Gale Awards this week, many clubs and people were recognized for all of the hard work they do here on campus. Here at IUTV, we won the Campus Impact Award. This would not be possible without all of the hard work everyone in this club has put in. But with this being our last show of the semester, we want to take a second to thank Elizabeth Riccio and Jackson Burkhart, our president and vice president. Without them, nothing we do here would be possible. From running meetings every week to all that they do for our shows, we are truly grateful to have them as our leadership examples. So from all of us here at IUTV, we just want to say thank you.
Well, as the last week of classes wrap up and finals are next week, we just wanted to say it was our pleasure reporting to you all every week from our studio. We're wishing everyone the best of luck on finals and hope you all have a great summer.
Well, that's all for this week and the semester. Thank you for spending your morning with us.
We hope you all have a good week and summer. And as always, don't forget,
Go Gaels!